us a recap of the events of last time, please.
Or session 199, I think. So this
200.
is session 200?
This
Oh,
is
wait, last
200.
session was? Oh yeah, this is 200. The 18th of summer, 1:20 in the morning. Patience Blackwater, or rather her projection, watched smugly as we continued to fight what seemed like a losing battle against Hadrian Collider in an endless tide of Blackwater guards, alongside the vampire that was once our friend Diddy. Glenn fought a separate battle, with words, to turn his son Aramis to our side. We thought we would simply need to physically remove his children from the clutches of Patience Blackwater. I never suspected we would need to get him out from under her influence instead. Then again, I also didn't expect he'd be a full-grown adult when he was supposed to be a boy of 10 years. That was a battle Glenn would have to fight on his own. All I could do was keep Hadrian away from him long enough for his words to get through to his son. Raldo and Estrella held off the guards descending on the back line, and Eli and Malin fought by my side against Hadrian, some elite guards, and Diddy. It seemed for a moment that Aramis's anger towards Glenn was wavering. But Patience also has the gift of a silver tongue, and with a few words from her, Aramis turned his magic once more on his father. The burst of sorceress energy missed Glenn, though. Perhaps Aramis still had doubts. Hadrian, taunted by by Malin, turned from me and challenged him. He delivered a devastating blow to Malin, but Malin stood strong. Glenn began to play a tune that took hold of Hadrian, forcing him to dance. Eli wove his own deadly dance through the chaos of the battle, killing one of the guards before Diddy leapt on him, tearing at him with her teeth. I saw Eli collapse, and time seemed to slow. It was as if I could see the thread of Eli's life force fraying, and reached out instinctively, willing it to hold strong. I heard her whisper, and felt her power flow through me, repairing the thread with strands of shadow. But Diddy, a hateful undead abomination in the eyes of the Raven Queen, unraveled that effort by clawing at him once more, and he fell. There was nothing I could do but keep fighting. Glenn sent a lance of psychic energy at Diddy, and she clutched her head in pain, unable to keep attacking for the moment. Without skipping a beat, he continued to try and reach Aramis with his words. He reiterated that he had never wanted to leave Aramis, that he had tried everything to get him and his sister back, and he was here now to do just that. At the mention of Ruby, Aramis faltered, and uncertainty crept in. He turned to Patience, claiming she had told him Ruby was dead. Patience tried to lie her way out of this, but Glenn pointed out that what she had done to Diddy, who had come here to help find Glenn's kids, and assured him that Ruby was alive. This finally got through to Aramis, and he turned his anger towards Patience. Unable to harm her illusion, Aramis instead sent a lightning arc towards Hadrian, which sparked off to Diddy as well. Hadrian shook off the debilitating dance and charged toward Glenn, spinning his maul arm and barreling through everyone else to get to him. Diddy caught one of the strikes from the maul straight to her chest, and her broken body was flung down the hall, landing in a heap. Malin froze, shocked by the sight of the woman he loved being struck down like this. She was already gone before that, but that made little difference in the moment. Hadrian laughed. Glenn mocked Hadrian brazenly as the murderous giant Warforged bore down on him, then suggested the guards surrounding him and Boulder Bottom take a nap. They seemed to agree and slumped to the ground. He then put some distance between him and Hadrian, but he was not out of danger, as more guards arrived on the scene. Estrella Missy stepped into the room at the end of the hall and sent a radiant arrow flying back at Hadrian. Malin was still frozen, looking at Eli's body, then to Diddy, shaking his head and clutching it. As I rushed after Hadrian to stand sentinel between him and Glenn, I called out to Malin to try and get him back in the fight, but it was as if he didn't hear me. I could really have used him there as well, but it seemed I was on my own. I managed to hit the heavily armored Warforged again, but I knew I wouldn't last long one-on-one with Hadrian Collider. Aramis called out that there was an escape route at the end of the hall where he and Patience stood. Then he summoned a giant magical hand, attempting to grab Hadrian. Good thinking, but Hadrian avoided it, threatening Aramis. Aramis responded with his own psychic lance, like father, like son. Hadrian analyzed the situation, then, cursing under his breath, he opened a compartment in his chest, revealing a familiar soul crystal. He activated it and disappeared in a cloud of shadow before any of us could react. Glenn used a powerful psychic blast to kill the sleeping guards and the ones that had just arrived in one go, and closed the door, calling for us to gather for a teleport. The illusory Lady Blackwater boasted that we were not getting out of there via magic, and we would pay for what we had done. We would have to use the escape route, Aramis pointed out. Then, out then, and hoped that we could get out of there before Patience sent more guards to block our retreat. Malin finally broke out of his catatonic state, roaring loudly. Then he erupted in fire. He grew larger and charged the opposite direction, down the hall full of dead guards. Estrella called after him before turning to Eli, pulling out a scroll of Revivify. I shouted to Malin as well and considered running after him, but Glenn stopped me. He was right. There was nothing we could do to get through to Malin in this state. He had snapped, and Surtur had taken advantage of the opportunity. That much was clear. Eli was gone too, having been unresponsive to Estrella's attempt to revivify him. The Raven Queen had allowed me one chance to save him from this fate, but I failed. Now her servants would be leading his soul beyond the veil, but there was no way I was leaving his body in the hands of Patience Blackwater. Moving slowly with him in tow, I rounded the corner just as Aramis opened a hidden passage. I set down Eli for a moment as we all regrouped. We had a way out, but we couldn't leave without Ruby. Estrella cast Locate Person, but could not sense her in the mansion. Either she was blocked from detection or moved. We had to get out of here if we had any chance of finding her. Knowing we had to move fast, Estrella magically enlarged my form so that I might carry Eli unencumbered. My rage had died out by then, the shadowy wings dissipating. Everything hurt, heart included. But then Glenn strummed his harp and stood on tiptoe to give me a little kiss on my shoulder. Healing energy coursed through me as he did, but the shiver that ran down my spine was from a different sort of magic. As much as I wanted to hold onto that feeling, it faded in the face of the grim reality before us. I lifted Eli easily, and we hurried down the passage. The old man in red showed up again at the end of the passage, warning us the guards would be waiting for us when we exited. Otherwise, he was cryptic as expected, stating only that the Zatian are awakening, and he could not interfere. He addressed Estrella, pointing out some runes on the wall that looked like the ones he had drawn on the windmill. She seemed to recall something, a name, Nasira, and a hint about the dagger he gave me when we first encountered him. I took it out and it reacted to the rune, so I touched the dagger to it and a portal opened. We stepped through the portal into the windmill away from the estate, where we could hear chaos and see flames erupt from the portion of the mansion. Guards were rushing towards the building, so we snuck across the field until we found a tree for Estrella to use to teleport us away from there. With one last look back, thinking of our broken friend Malin, we stepped out of the smoke-filled field and into the cold mountain air, where our Runemaster Tower loomed against the starry sky. Aramis looked like he wanted to speak to Glenn, his father. That's going to take some getting used to. Estrella and I brought Eli's body inside, giving them space. We would need to prepare him to lay him to rest. We have lost too many since all this began, and now not only have we lost 2 in one night, but Malin, indomitable, why did I write that word? Arrogant, courageous Malin. We may have just lost him too. I try to keep everyone safe. I keep moving forward despite so many others I have cared about leaving, but I'm so tired. I don't know if I can keep the torch burning long enough to get us to night weather. We are Zatian. We're supposed to stick together, supposed to be able to survive the worst of odds together. Why does that seem like an impossible feat right now? Glenn came back in at that moment, and his presence reassured me. At least he is still here, I found myself thinking. Then I was struck by the thought of losing him, too. I don't know if I could handle that. I thought of Malin losing Diddy and felt his pain. As exhausted as we all were, we stayed up a little longer to come up with a plan, and made the decision to reach out to the Avonhearts to help us get Ruby. We would do that first thing after Eli's funeral in the morning. Tonight we will keep vigil. During my watch, I worked on a small tune on my flute to play for him. Words are hard. Perhaps music can express the sorrow I feel better. The end.
So beautiful.
All right.
I'm crying.
Thank you for that recap. Very nice. So, let's make sure I have that story point for you.
I knew I can't say the word indomitable,
Indomitable.
but I wrote it anyway.
That's fine. All right. So it is the 19th of summer at 8 a.m. The group is currently at the tower. You had just passed the evening after that fateful day. A strange bit of quiet has come over the place. Maybe everyone is still tired, or maybe it's spiritual exhaustion from all that you've been through lately. So what does the group want to do? I would say past time, but I don't know what the next event you're planning is. I think you mentioned going back to Tyvanis to try to figure out what happened to Glenn's daughter.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
Yes.
try and connect with Avonheart, right?
Yeah.
All
But
right.
we have to lay Eli to rest first.
Yeah.
So, let's see. It's the morning. One of your people. Let's see. Where do I have your tribe? I think they're under Gaian. I'm just trying to figure out where I put them. No, I thought I had them under Gravik Tower. That's where they should be. Maybe they're in the camp. Let's see. Do you remember what the name of your the leader of the Suntooth? What her name is?
Right now it's oh gosh, my keyboard. Una. Sorry, I blanked for a second.
Okay. Yeah, I can search for her. Where's Una? I have her at the Twilight Sanctuary, so I know that is not correct.
No, yeah. Only a few stayed.
All right, just
There.
yeah, give me a moment to make sure they're all moved out of the Shadowfell. So also Evil, Una, Xylia.
I think Evil stayed in the Shadowfell for sure.
Oh, because she fell
Yeah,
in love with that
I think-
guy. That's right.
Yeah, Xylia may have as well, but I can't remember. A bunch of the unnamed tribe members also stayed.
Okay.
Water.
What about Freya came back though, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So Freya came back. We don't have too many. I don't think we have too many named members of your tribe, at least not in the
Oh, there
actual-
it's on so Newslog's bio.
Oh, I meant on Roll20. Like,
Oh.
I think we only have a couple of character sheets. I mean, we could say they all went
Right,
back.
we don't
I
have the
just
character
wanted
sheets.
to make sure I got the character sheets I do have. I want to make sure those characters are now at the Gravik Tower.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of them aren't even really fighters or anything. They're just
Alright, so the named ones, I believe, are Xylia, Freynir, or Frey, and Una. Okay, so the reason I was saying that is in the morning, a little while after you sleep, you would be approached by Una, Uslog, and she would give you a bow and say, I heard you had arrived last night, and I got a few of the details of your trip. I'm sorry. It's always hard to lose members of your ranks. She puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "How are you holding up?"
I'm holding up. It's been rough, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, she gives you a kind of a sympathetic nod and says, "You will. Time does heal all wounds. But I did have some news for you. If you're ready, I can speak with you now, or later if this isn't a good time."
Now's as good as any.
She says, "Well, we scouted out a really good place in the mountains. However, it seems like there is a tribe that lays claim to a very large area of land within the mountains, and they don't seem to be friendly or want to speak with us. They've attacked us several times. We fought them off. Luckily, no one's been killed, But, well, I don't know. I've been considering the possibility of a war with them to stake out our claim, as the amount of area they are holding is ridiculous. She says, but I also know that their numbers far exceed ours. And I figured I should come to you and see if you have any ideas or thoughts on the situation, since you are technically the leader of our clan right now.
Well, a war would mean war or death.
She nods. She says,
If we could avoid that.
It could be costly, but I don't really know how else to approach this. I have been unable to speak with their leadership. Our initial camp that we had set up was destroyed, and most of us, we all had to flee. So we know the area is hostile, and we're just trying to figure out next steps. My thought was we might just have to fight a bit. Overall, I think our members are much more experienced than theirs, but they do have some kind of huge beast that they use for battle. She says it's probably a little too much for my people to handle. Maybe myself or Freya or some of the more well-trained of the tribe could fight it, but it might be of trivial challenge to someone like you or your group. She says, I'm not
What do you know of the
saying you...
beast?
Or go ahead.
What do you know of the beast?
This is a massive creature with one eye, some kind of cycloptic giant. Similar to the giants that, I assume the giants you told us of that you and your group fought in the many, not hundreds, but you fought many of them. So this could be a trifling for you and your people, versus like something that could really destroy many of ours. She says, I don't know. Maybe it's best if we just abandon the area. I'm wrestling with my options. What I think is best.
There something...
Or go ahead.
Something special about this area? She would definitely ask to have her show it on the map, just so she could see. But also, is there anything particularly interesting about this? Was this the area that you think that I described to you?
She says, it does sound like the area that you described. Yes, it was scouted out by some of our pathfinders. It's sort of like, it's a ways to the west of here, a couple of days, getting close to the desert, but not exactly on the desert. It's a small valley in between the mountains, lush with a lot of life. It'd be a perfect place for us to put down roots, because it would also give us access to the deserts, and our tribe is well versed at handling desert as well as forest and plain.
Mm-hmm.
She says it's just really almost too good to pass up, but yeah.
If we can find out more about this tribe, there's a chance that we could perhaps get in and negotiate some sort of deal at some point. But yeah, there might need to be some fighting, but I think that's the last resort if possible. So if anyone can get information about them,
they seem very aggressive and very almost a zeal for the art of battle. They have higher numbers than ours, but as I said, I think our people are a little better trained. I don't know of their elders or any of their higher ranking members, as we mostly just fought their peons in the Cyclops. But basically we can just give this up and let them keep the land. That might be the safest way to approach. I know you and your people are a bit busy, but maybe with Glenn's silver tongue, he can somehow convince them to stop their hostilities. Or maybe we could just fight them into submission. if we kill off enough of their people, they will perhaps back down and either leave or maybe decide to make peace with us. But we might just have to slay them all. They don't seem like the type that would just give up.
Right. Well,
She says this
let me talk to.
Yeah, this isn't something of urgency. I mean, our people have fully retreated and none of us are in danger now. But at some point in the future, yeah, this would be good to resolve. Or just find another place. And she'll
we have
mark
some.
it on the map for you.
Yes, that would be good. That'd be good. We have some really pressing matters to deal with, but I'll bring these ideas to my friends, and when we return, we might come up with a plan. But I would say, if anything, keep scouting, trying to find more information, and avoid that Cyclops at all costs for now.
All right.
But yeah, there's
Let me see if I
our
can.
tribe's taken too many hits. I don't want to lose the rest of you all over land. It's not.
She says, well, I don't know
Worth
if
it.
we'll go down that easily. And she gives you a wink. We'll just have to be careful. If we go this route without your help, we'll just have to be very careful about how we approach this. The Cyclops.
I trust you to handle it well.
She nods. Okay.
Return to the group. Yes.
All right. So, does anyone want the camera for some RP or just anything in general, or should I pass some time as you kind of get ready to return to the capital?
Well, we have. Yeah, we want to. They have the Eli's funeral to get to.
Are you doing that here?
That's right. Oh, well, we brought him here. I guess Luke's log didn't consider that.
Yeah, you have his body. I wasn't sure where you were burying him.
We already have one buried member there. I mean, I'm not there with.
Yeah,
oh, do you have a graveyard? I don't even remember. Who did you bury here?
Arapel was just a little bit of dust, though.
Right. Arapel has a grave next to the tower, so I guess you could put Eli in the Arapel grave area.
Uslag would ask the others. She would ask, Glenn and Estrella, I guess. Should we do this here?
Seems fitting. If one Zatian lays beneath the earth here, he seems fit to make a graveyard here.
Yeah, I mean, it's as good a place as any.
All right, so you prepare to go out and have the funeral?
Yeah.
I don't have a location tab for this group in the sheet. I guess I could just make one. All right. Well, a couple of hours pass. When do you want to have the funeral?
Say it again?
When do you want to have the funeral? Like what time?
What time is it now?
So it is 8:30 in the morning.
Basically, I'll just sometime, like around noon or something. Give people time to, get stuff together and get ready.
All right.
Uslag would, I guess if we have some time, she would go to Glenn and just say, I was working on a song for Eli.
Ah, you are?
Yeah, I am. I don't know if it's any good, but I don't know what else to say for him.
I'm sure it's good. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Um,
How are you holding up?
I'm not great, I guess, but
I know
gotten through
you
this
like
before.
to. I know you like to blame yourself when things like this happen.
There's more I could have done, I'm sure. He was right there. I could have stopped Diddy. I could have. I don't know.
And if you would have stopped Diddy, Adrian might have slammed his arm through Malon's chest instead.
And Malin.
I know it's
What are
easier
you gonna-
said than done, but you can't think about what ifs because you can lose your whole life thinking about what if. There's always a million what ifs when something tragic happens.
You're right. Let's keep moving forward, right?
You know, so I know it's hard. It's like I said, it's. I'm sad about Eli. I like to mess with him because he just his existence reminds me of one of the worst decisions I ever made. And I'd like to put it on him and say it's his fault, but it's not. It was my fault, and that family's blood will always be on my hands, so I'll always remember that, and I don't have anyone else to blame anymore except myself now that he's gone.
We were all tricked. That was on all of us. But yeah. Guess I'll go just pull him in for a hug, I guess.
He would hug her back. We'll be alright.
Yeah. Got each other's backs.
Yeah.
Right.
So as you are kind of finishing your hug, smiling, Sovik runs out of the teleporter room and says, "We may have a problem. I'm sorry to interrupt." He says, "Someone or something is teleporting to the tower. But that should not be possible. The tower is anchored. No one should be able to teleport nearby with the new magics I've implemented. I don't understand it."
Not a portal like Estrella, but teleport.
He says, "It may be a portal. It's some sort of travel. It might be ongoing. I can't tell yet. But if it is a portal, there could be a large force coming through. We don't have much time."
Okay, ready yourselves, Sluggle.
Yep, I'm going to kind of yell out and call, like, possible intruder! Prepare for battle!
All right. I think I have a map of the outside of the tower. Because, yeah, you guys, yeah, I do, okay.
Yeah, you do. We got our ass kicked on here enough times. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
the
when
last
you were
person
first
we had
assaulting.
Chomsky.
I know,
Stupid.
Chomsky.
Those stupid things that were immune to, like, all my spells.
Sons of bitches. Yeah, the tower defenses. Alright, so you come out of the tower. I assume all of you are coming.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you would see to the south of you a shimmering greenish portal, kind of laced with dark energy.
It's green, that means it's evil?
Boulder Bottom kind of arches an eyebrow at you and says, "What?" I take a bit of offense to that.
Older Bottom, don't you know green energy means evil?
Oh, fancy effect.
Shit.
So,
Money's eaten.
Woo.
as you kind of stand there, everyone at the ready, you would see a figure step forth through the portal. What would you look like to them?
Okay, so he would look like a tall, like broad-shouldered, looks like a plain human, but he has like metal just like on him. You can't tell if it's like just strapped on, skin tight, or if it's like part of him. He has like a long tattered coat with a sleeveless coat. His lower face is covered by like a smooth, expressionless mask, and it seems to be fused to the skin. The rest of his face is like weathered. He would have some just pale scars, and you would notice one of his arms is fully covered in the metal, and then the other one just has like patches. You would notice two odd objects on either side of his hips. These are revolvers, and on his back he would have what looks like a hunting rifle. Yeah.
Alright, so the portal will then kind of shrink down, closing up behind him.
Strange contraption.
So going down the list, Estrella, what would you look like to him?
She's an older woman, like a kind of grandma age. She's a little bit plump. She looks human. She's got long white hair, blue black eyes. She wears blue robes, and she's wearing quite a bit of jewelry. She has like a moonstone locket. She has a bangle on one of her wrists that bears 7 stars set with 7 jewels. And she's leaning on a staff that is topped with a like faintly glimmering crescent-shaped finial.
All right, and I will say, being from the astral plane, you actually do recognize the weaponry he's carrying. You've seen it used by people before. It's some sort of ranged weaponry that employs basically black powder. It's more based on science than magic, and there are those who travel the planes who have such weaponry, but you haven't seen it in a long time. You know it's very dangerous. So,
Curious.
what about Aramis? What would you look like to him?
Aramis would be in his 20s. He's a half elf, well tailored suit. Kind of gives off a noble vibe. Handsome, and then if you get closer, looking at him, you'd notice there are just small, almost could be seen as like blemishes, or marks on his skin, but once you get closer to look at it, they look like almost like scales just under the surface of his skin in some parts of his area of his body. But pretty straightforward, probably pretty confused and pretty frustrated, and probably standing a little bit away from the group, not right up with everybody.
All right. What about Uslog?
Uslog is human woman. She's pretty tall for a human, about 5'10". She's really strong. She's got dark long hair with like a few strands, like chunks of white strips through her hair. Even though she looks to be in about her mid-20s, she is wearing simple armor. She does have a breastplate, but otherwise it's mostly just like leather pants. And a fancy cloak. That kind of gives the illusion of like feathered wings. And yeah, she's got like pale gray eyes, lots of scars. And her, well, I don't know if she'd have her war paint on right now, actually. So that's about it. She's got drawn right now a large frosty looking greatsword.
All right, so you would notice. Could you change your name? It's still saying you're Flint.
Oh,
Just because I'm gonna call you Flint, or until I get used to that. But you would notice that. Before I say that, Jovian, do you have religious knowledge?
let me check.
Like trained, I mean.
No.
All right. She would definitely look a bit strange to you, being that you were just in the Shadowfell. She does have characteristics of one that's been touched by the darkness. All right. What about Glenn? What would you look like to him?
For that question to Aramis, did you decide at all, like, did you, if he takes after his father or mother more physically?
I didn't really decide that. We'll say mom.
Okay. You would see a slightly older half elf. I mean, it's you can kind of know. I mean, he's got the pointed ears, but his hair is darker and he has facial hair, which is usually means half elf. Most elves don't go out of their way to grow facial hair or darken their hair. So clearly a half elf, a little bit older than the other half elf in the group, as he's probably looks to be about his 40s, early 30s maybe. Since half elf's a little bit longer than humans, but he seems to be handsome, much more handsome than the other half elf, by the way. He wears a few instruments of all sorts. He has a bag that seems to be having things stick out of it that you can see. He's got a lute strapped to his back, and there seems to be a harp and some other instruments bustling out of his bag as he carries a rapier on his side and a scimitar on the other side. He's a little bit he's a little bit tall for a half elf. I say he's about just about 6 foot. But beautiful blue eyes and wavy locks of hair. He is a pretty man. You could totally fall in love with him.
So
like true bard.
you see this strange group of people as you step through the portal, hearing it close behind you. These must be the people that your ally had spoken of. Also, you would see their tower, just extremely large behind them, probably about 50 or so feet, looking very similar to the tower that your friend is in control of. What do you want to do?
I would step forward a little bit and say with like it would sound like a raspy metallic voice, but his face like wouldn't move as he talks behind the mask. And he would say, "I am Jovian. Xerxes sent me. He said you fought the children of the shadows."
Xerxes saying?
Did something happen?
I am an enemy of the children of the shadows, and he said that you were also an enemy of them and could prove allies.
Well, why are you enemies of them?
Well, the cult more or less had some doings in my modifications that I am not proud of.
Says one of the people with them, a stout dwarf, says, yeah, he looks like Malin a bit. You're saying the Children of Shadow did this to you? Your metal parts?
Yes. I was taken during a battle with them and spent years in their captivity.
I didn't know they were even capable of such things. It's a little bit unsettling. Says, well, have you just come to... I guess we're not over there anymore. We're working on some things in Gaian. I don't want to speak for the group. Usually Glenn's the one that talks, but he seems to have fallen silent for some reason. What are you here for?
Originally, just to aid in fighting the Children of the Shadow, but I'm also up for helping any other people.
Says, and how do you know Xerxes?
I was hunting the Children of the Shadow while in the Shadowfell, and I met him, and he said that you might be allies.
Strange. He just came up to you and decided that you were someone to be friends with?
I do not know.
Says you got amnesia, or...
I do not have.
You can improv this, because we didn't talk about a lot of this stuff.
Okay. I was following the cult, and he saw me fighting with a couple of the members, came to me and said, if you're an enemy of them, he knows some allies that might be of help.
Boulder Bottom just kind of gives the group a shrug and says, I guess that's why he was able to teleport in with the barrier up. Xerxes must have some way of being able to get close to the tower, even with the anchor on.
No, he's a citizen of Nightweather, so just like Hollow Hands, I'm sure he can do all sorts of things that we're capable of understanding.
Yeah, he works in mysterious ways. That's Xerxes.
Boulder Bottom whispers, do we trust this guy, or... I mean, his story kind of checks out. I don't know how else he would have gotten here unless he's some kind of enemy.
Cease has been a friend to us in
you would hear
our
all this,
encounters so
Jovian,
far,
because of
so,
your ridiculous perception. Sorry, go ahead, Freya.
I'm inclined to trust Xerxes. He's helped us a couple times.
Very true. Man, where were you when we were actually in the Shadowfell hunting the Children of Shadow? We really could have used your help then.
Aye, you missed a pretty crazy fight. It was a Tarrasque that was in stasis. Almost got loose too. Luckily, we were able to fight off that strange biomancer. Really could have used your... Well, I don't know what weapons you use, but I'm sure you're good at them if Xerxes likes you.
despite my off-putting look, I assure you I am friendly and of no harm.
Oh, we've seen uglier.
Well, like Rolda said, you sort of resemble a friend of ours very slightly. She
Yeah,
gestures
as I
to like
said,
the metal
we've
bits.
seen uglier. And he goes for a high five from Glenn. Yeah.
Glenn high fives. I'm back.
Yes.
Now, I need before we we just lost some close friends in blood, and before we go hopping around and frolicking in the wilderness with a new person, I need to ask you a hypothetical. If you got your hands on an item, and that item allowed you to communicate with a lawful evil god of destruction, would you get rid of it immediately, or would you be like, I think I can get the better of this guy?
Oh, good question, Boulder Bottom says. And then he looks at you, like, very carefully.
Thinking,
Raises an eyebrow and like.
In fact, everyone's staring at
Thinking-
you now.
thinking critically, I would likely report it to the party and show the others before making a decision on anything.
Oh, I like this guy. That's a good answer.
Yeah,
Boulder
that's
Bottom
my answer.
whispers.
Would you ever consider buying a portion of a city, evacuating its residents, and then burning the city down?
Man, Malon's taking a beating this session.
God damn it.
Malin roast.
Well, what are these questions? Are these like for any specific reason?
Yes, there's a very specific reason, because we don't want one of our we don't want somebody to join us that is going to give themselves over to a lawful evil god, or a lawful evil god of destruction again.
Well, no, I wouldn't willingly.
Okay.
Despite my past might say otherwise, but not anything you should worry about.
What if you fell in love with me and I were to die in battle? That would that make you want to give in to a lawful evil god of destruction?
There is a difficulty in the fact that the cult where I was held, I was, how do I say this, tortured into not, like, being able to express that specific type of feeling in order to ensure mission completance.
What, they took away your ability to love?
Sort of.
That's harsh.
Not romantic love specifically.
Boulder Bottom pats Glenn, says, sorry, bud. Looks like this one's a no-go, and gives you a wink.
Rolls his eyes.
Gives Raldo a look.
What?
He rolls his eyes.
He started it, he whispers.
I just wanted to make sure that, given the circumstances, history doesn't repeat itself.
We have had a bit of a time lately.
Okay. I mean, we're not in the. He kind of looks around at what's left of the group, and it's we're not really in a great position here. So if you're saying you're down to fight the cult, just know that I don't know how much cult fighting we're going to be doing right now. We're kind of on a more personal quest at the moment.
Well, the cult fighting is just a specific personal quest. I'm willing to help anyone.
Well, I definitely like the sound of that. As I'm sure we all need help.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm gonna look to the group and yes, seems okay in my book.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Boulder Bottom shrugs and says, well, we could use all the help we can get. We've just suffered some losses.
Yeah. Well, 3 friends, really.
He says, though, I'm curious, I don't see any blades on you. Just those weird, I don't know, clubs you got on your side? Kind of small.
Yeah.
Maybe a
an
spear on your
artificer? Those are-
back?
I would pull out a revolver and just fire it at the wall over here, just like right over here,
Alright,
and then just
like a
sheath it again.
flourish spin fire or just like a normal shot?
Just like pulls it out, fire, puts it back in.
Alright, so very quickly the weapon is drawn. He almost like just kind of points away from himself without even looking, firing as a large chunk of the wall back there explodes. He then kind of spins the pistol and immediately puts it back in its sheath. Boulder Bottom says, "Whoa, what kind of weapon is that? Never seen one of those before."
Because I made it.
I was gonna say it kind of looks like something an artificer would make.
Aye, some kind of magic.
I know. It's not
Very
magical, I assure you.
Well, it looks like it could do some damage. He just blew up a big chunk of the wall. He just kind of looks at all of you. Does Estrella say anything, or is she just keeping it to herself? I'll assume she's keeping it to herself. Yeah, Boulder Bottom just shrugs and says, well, as I said, it might be good to have allies.
Yeah. Welcome aboard, I guess.
He says, do you have a way of getting back to Xerxes by chance? A way we can be in touch with him?
I did not think of that.
I think Xerxes only can get in touch. We can only get in touch with Xerxes when Xerxes wants to get in touch.
Says, I don't know, can't Glenn just talk to people whenever he wants?
True.
I was just wondering if maybe there was a... did you open the portal, or did Xerxes do that? Just asking.
Xerxes.
Ah, yeah, makes sense.
I had nothing to do with that.
He nods. He just says, well, I'm going to go back inside and continue maintaining some of my gear. Looks like this is all in order, right? We're not fighting this guy. Seems like...
Preferably not.
Yeah, he shrugs. He says, yes. We didn't know what was going on, so we were a little bit... a little fidgety when suddenly you appeared in our front yard.
Understandable.
He says, oh, are you there, Estrella? Wonder if she stepped away for something. I didn't see anything.
Just muted. But
Alright. Well, yeah, maybe she had to use the restroom or something. That's fine. Alright, so if there's nothing else anyone's going to say, I can just end the scene and say Jovian decides to come into the tower with you all. It sounds like you have admitted him into the place, at least for now.
yeah, I mean, Uslag would definitely still kind of keep a close eye on him here in the tower, just not like staring him down or anything, but just, keeping an eye.
Yeah, that's fine.
for now.
All right, so yeah, and you guys feel free to drag out your tokens now that we're home, because the tower is pretty safe. So if you want to just say you're walking around the halls or exploring, I gotta remember. Oh yeah, let me make sure I wall off the areas that aren't actually open. Here, I'll make sure I pull.
Oh, I gotta heal this log. She's still very damaged.
Yeah, you did get a long, like a full night's rest, so everyone should be at least long rested. Alright, so we got Uslog, yeah, okay. Getting everyone out. Estrella. And Aramis. Oh, Aramis is here already.
Yeah, 2 misses.
Clones.
I feel like I'm missing someone.
While we're doing that, if Uslog notices Aramis kind of hanging off to the side, she's actually going to go just talk to him a little bit. She hasn't really properly introduced herself. She's going to say, hey, sorry for calling you a brat back there. To be fair, that lightning bolt really hurt like hell.
To be fair, brat isn't the worst thing I've been called when I worked for Patience. Oh.
I could call her worse things too.
Fair.
They're quite good with magic. Your father told me you were into magic from as a young child, and so that didn't surprise me. And your Glen Whispers wins a kid, so I kind of knew you would be trouble. Kind of
I
smiles at that.
guess the rumors that I've heard about my father are true.
Yeah, he's a good one though. I'm glad you came around.
We have a long way to go, but if he can help get Ruby back, it'll be the next step.
We're all gonna help get Ruby back. That's a high priority. I look forward to meeting her.
She's great. She's the only thing of my mother that I have left.
Slug would nod. Kind of, look kind of sad for a moment. Just nod. But, I just wanted to properly introduce myself. I feel like we might have got off on the wrong foot.
I think the interaction and the feelings mutual. I think that my head was messed with a lot. Now to figure out where and what everything means.
Yeah.
So
take your
I
time.
appreciate-
Don't. It'll make sense eventually. And, we're here for you, so.
Thank you.
Kind of just excuse yourself and head out. But yeah.
All right, so time is passing. Slovak would say he would kind of I don't know, I guess who who would be like kind of in charge of the tower stuff? Maybe Glenn? Because it's Glenn and Uslag are the oldest too, so he'd probably come to Glenn.
Yeah.
He would say, so we do have several areas of the tower open now. This place is amazing. There's almost like you can use magic to kind of change the landscape. He says, I don't suppose you've acquired any more of those soul crystals or any sort of magical energy that we could continue opening things with.
So, Chris, I don't think so, but I wonder if we could somehow siphon the magic power from unwanted magic items into still usable magic items.
This is an interesting proposal. I would have no idea how to do such a thing, but it's certainly something we can look into. He says, oh, also I fixed up that one protector. It's not exactly working as a construct, but I at least moved it back into a more respectable looking place. Maybe we can repair it later. It's in the teleportation room, the one you initially destroyed.
Ah,
He
would,
says, go ahead.
that would be nice. I'd like to visit the what is it, the Hollow Point? Yeah, it's somewhere I'd like to visit the Hollow Point one more time, just to see if I can get that little kid to come out again.
Sadly, we have not heard anything from the child since it revealed itself that once. Don't know if it's hiding or if it's actually gone. But of course, I will stay vigilant. There seem to be many strange eccentricities about this place that I don't understand. Every time I think I have it figured out, something new pops up and just destroys my ability to control the place, almost like the tower has a mind of its own. At least we don't have a psychotic gnome turning everything against us anymore.
Oh, God. Don't remind me. Takes a deep breath.
He says, I did notice something interesting. I think that the Hollow Point seems to connect to more inner areas. Do you remember when we were under attack and you had to go inside to stop the Children of Shadow from taking control?
What was that last part? Sorry.
He says, do you remember when we were under attack by the Children of Shadow and you and the group had to go into the Hollow Point to stop them from taking control?
Not really.
It's when you met the child.
Yes, that point I do remember.
He says, well, there might be other areas like that to be discovered within the Hollow. Almost like caves or dungeons that may hold secrets to this place. I'm still searching, but I'm fairly confident I might be able to discover some more in the future. It's a bit exciting for me to continue to learn more about this place.
You know, and we appreciate that. Thank you for everything you've done.
Alright, so that's pretty much it for that scene. It's now about, I'll say 12 as more time passes. Did you want to do that funeral?
Yeah, now it's probably as good a time as any.
Is Mary back? Oh, she might have still...
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sorry, I'm back.
Alright, so I guess we are heading back outside. So I just sort of put Arapel's grave over to the side here. If there's another place you want to put the graves, let me know. I can just move them to a different part of the map. But where do you want to bury Eli?
Yeah, I would assume probably right next to Arapel.
Alright, so you do want to use this section as like the little graveyard?
That's a question for the rest of the group.
I would say right next to it, and then leave a little room, and then
Alright. It's a question for anyone who wants to give an opinion.
Malin is gonna think about this. Oh, damn.
Alright, so
Eli's haunting Malin.
Yeah. So you dig another grave next to where Arapel is buried. It's going to be harder to put both names. I'm going to spread it out a little just to make it a little easier. We'll say you like bury him down here, maybe. Alright, so you said you had a speech plan for this? Malin? Or
What plan?
Glenn?
oh,
Alright,
it's a
but you
speech,
can't,
but,
you
know,
can't
like-
sound tired, or else I'm gonna not give you your story point. You have to sound awake. No, just kidding. You can
that's easy. So we're doing the we're like. I mean, I don't know. It was, we've got like I assume we've got like the grave dug, and we've, we're all gathered.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Did one of you in particular want to dig the grave, or would you just ask some of the Warforged to do it? I don't know if like maybe Uslag felt like she should do it or something.
I mean, Glenn would chip in, even though he's gonna suck at it.
He'll do like one shovel for like every 10 shovels of Uslag.
Yeah. He's trying, and he just sucks.
Alright, so the group itself is going to dig the grave then.
I feel like that's
Alright, so yeah, we'll say maybe over a few hours, several of you who wanted to participate would have dug the grave. If you want to speak during that, that's fine. Otherwise, we can just fast forward to the actual burial.
So, well, would anybody like to say any words for our fallen friend?
Boulder Bottom says, well, I didn't know him too well. I mean, we only met him as in the craziness that happened within the Fire Giant City, but there was always a loyalty to his actions. He says there was I always felt like he hid a sadness. There's a lot of strength behind what he did, but also a loss that he never really shared with us, and I just wish I had gotten to know more about that and more about where he came from and who he lost. He says, but he was a good companion, he was a friend, and I'll drink an ale to him tonight in remembrance of all he's done for us.
He nods.
He says, I'm sure if Malin was here, he'd have some good things to add to.
I'm sure Malin's words would be they would be pure, although intelligible.
Anyone else have anything to say?
Looks over to Australia and Uslag.
Are they going to say anything or react?
Yeah, I was muted.
Oh, I was wondering, like, anything?
I'm sorry.
Well,
I feel like
you
there
have
was
to
a
honor
few.
Eli. It's going to be so sad, and it's like crickets. Crickets.
Oh, sorry. I think Uslag will save something for the end, but she'll say, he was quiet, but he was always there when we needed him the most. And she would share the story of how he, in like a battle that was not going so well, appeared in the nick of time and turned the tides, and just kind of.
I forgot about that.
that.
You really saved our ass on that one. Whew. You're a good man. You're a good elf, Eli.
I Yeah, I'll work on. I always remember how he would dance around and dodge seemingly everything that everything that flew at him. Was when he couldn't even touch him. I wrote a song about it. I'm still halfway done. It's called "Smooth Criminal."
Ah, that sounds like a good one.
Oh, it's gonna be a toe tapper. But well, I've come to a solemn what's the word, tradition. When a friend falls, they deserve special words from yours truly. And so, as I wrote the song for Arapel, upon his death, Eli deserves the same as well, as he was just as courageous in life as our fallen friend Arapel.
Oh, and I had thought of this earlier. Boulder Bottom says, Estrella, you tried to call him back from the other side, didn't you?
Indeed.
And he refused to come back, right?
Yes, I sensed that his soul was content and uninterested in returning from beyond.
Glenn
Boulder
seems
Bottom,
surprised.
Or go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna think Glenn seems surprised. I guess he didn't know that kind of in the
Battle.
Yeah, the heat of everything that was going on.
He mentioned it to me. And you see a tear form in Boulder Bottom's eyes. Says that type of contentness, it's something he deserves. Says he maybe finally found all those he lost in the battles with the fire giants. At least we can go on knowing that he finally found his happiness. A return to his love, and all the loss he had endured is now restored.
You know, and I hope he's resting with his family then.
I hope so as well.
And Glenn pulls out his lyre and begins to strum, kind of looking to see if anybody else has anything to say before he starts.
Take it away.
So it's
Okay.
it's quiet as everyone kind of lowers their head.
See, I'll start to play a solemn tune. The dust has settled, the battle's done, but silence rings, for a light is gone. A blade dancer, swift and keen, now rests in fields forever green. With arcane might and silvered grace, he danced through danger and set his pace. The spells he wove, a shimmering art, a courageous soul and a valiant heart. He stood beside me, blade in hand, to reclaim my son from this shadowed land. No greater love, no truer friend, than to face the darkness to the bitter end. Though tears may fall and grief may sting, his memory bright forever sing. For honor won and freedom's call, he gave his all and stood up tall. So raise a glass, let spirits soar. His journey's done, he fights no more. Rest now, brave wizard, your vigil's done. Your legend lives beneath the sun.
Alright.
That's beautiful.
That was beautiful.
I'll give you a
Fantastic.
story point for that.
Thank
Can you post those lyrics somewhere in the chat or in the
Yeah.
Maybe in the
Maybe-
roleplay channel.
Yeah, either roleplay or maybe the what's it called? I guess not party, but like journal or roleplay. All right. And
sounds
everyone
good.
who spoke during his funeral, I'll give you 2 inspiration points.
Yeah.
For bringing a solemn close to Eli's tale. All right, so Eli is laid to rest. You guys kind of bury him, and
As we're like just filling in the grave, Uslug would pull out her pan flute and just kind of play the tune that she was working on as well. Not necessarily as part of the funeral, but just kind of a sort of closing little tune.
all right, so you do
Not sure it's
a little. Is it like a solemn tune, like a peppy tune?
Yeah, it's solemn.
Okay. There's a nice melody on the air as he's laid to rest, and everyone kind of stands over him for that final time, closing the coffin and putting the dirt over it. The cold mountain air nips at you, even in summertime. It's always freezing this high up, wind blowing and kind of putting your winter clothes to work, trying to keep you warm. Anything else happening during the funeral? Otherwise, I'll say that scene will end. Eli is laid to rest. All right. So, I guess as you go back inside, you are greeted by. I'll say everyone was out there. Like, it wasn't just you guys. We'll say the Suntooth clan and the other members of the tower came. The dragons and your wizard. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What's your next steps?
Well,
There's you definitely. I know you said you were going back to the city, right? That was going to be your first action.
Yeah, I'd like to meet with the Avonhearts to see if there's anything they can do to help find my daughter.
So when are you doing that? Are you going tomorrow? Do you want to go today?
I mean, no time like the present.
Can I ask a question?
You just did.
True.
With my time with patients, would I know what the Blackwater and the Avonhearts relationship is like?
It's a mix of cooperative and adversarial, which is how most of the families are in the Empire. Like, they work together to maintain peace and order, but at times they work against each other for political power. The Avonhearts are a fairly old bloodline, dating back to the days of the Underground Empire, back before the reemergence. Do you remember what the name of that empire was, Estrella?
Wasn't it Orsonian?
No, that's way back.
Varian?
No,
Darian?
it's the
What?
one. It's the one from your Wednesday game. I always forget the name of that
Oh, I think it's
empire.
Darrock, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's the Darrock Empire. But yeah, they were a very old bloodline, part of the ruling family of this like group of people for quite some time. So their position as number one isn't often challenged, but the houses under them often like squabble and fight for the other seats. And Blackwater has definitely come out on top for a long time, other than challenging the Avonhearts, of course. Which, yeah, they haven't been dethroned in like several thousand years at this point. They're always kind of like the de facto first family that no one really goes against. But yeah, I mean, you're actually not sure how the Avonhearts are going to feel about the group directly attacking patients. Like, you're not sure if they're going to be okay with that.
I guess my other question is kind of knowing the political landscape of what's. I mean, I've been in it for what we said like 3-ish years, 4-ish years.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit more since you became old enough to know more about that sort of thing.
Would I know anything about the Blackwater operation that I think the Avonhurst would find advantageous? Like,
there are definitely some secrets you could reveal, although Patience didn't really involve you as much in the political side, other than certain friends of her family that helped train you, who are also kind of politically powerful, and some questionable uh, necromancer allies, which technically isn't a legal school to practice, at least as a specialty. So there's some stuff that might get some egg on their face, but nothing that's going to dethrone them. Like, it would be more like you have some info that could embarrass them politically. Because they would probably just deny it. And obviously you can't come forward. Well, I guess you could come forward, but you're not important enough in the city that, like, you wouldn't possibly be arrested for being part of what happened. Because you're guessing Patience probably would lie about, like, maybe say you turned on her or something and started killing guards.
okay, I'm trying to come up with if I have an advantage in trying to get them to help.
Yeah.
Us. So.
Yeah, but you would be a little concerned about the Avonheart's opinion of the group after what happened. You're not sure they would be, cool about it. I don't know if you would express that to Glenn or anyone.
I would probably share it with Ooslog and just say, going to the Avonhearts right now is going to be tricky, and when we left that we left a trail, and we left it in a way that Patience could
twist to her own advantage.
Correct. So
yeah,
if we approach the Avonhearts, we need to tread lightly. They're the #1 family, and they've been it for a long time, and they're in that position for a reason. They could just as easily turn on us and wipe us all out, and no one in the city would probably even know it happened.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think if we send a message, I mean, she was pretty receptive to us before. I think she might be willing to hear us out, if anything. But I don't think we should just, stroll right up to their house. So I think as well that, with us being outlaws of the Empire, essentially now, they might even need to, even if they do see our story, believe us or whatever, they might not be able to help just to, save face or whatever. So
Correct.
it's it's a tricky situation. I'm politics is not my forte. Nobles in general, sorry, are not really my forte. So
sometimes your hand is forced into that.
Yeah.
And then Aramis would just go back to, getting ready if that's where we're heading off.
I think, Uslag would probably share her concerns as well with Estrella and Glenn about that, just kind of passing that along. I think we should still try, but I think sending a message ahead may be a good idea.
Dude. Yeah, I don't know where else to go. I don't know where else to turn. I'll just have to be careful.
Yeah. We're ready for anything, I guess.
All right. So you are. Well, I guess how are you getting back there?
I think Uslag would suggest, if we send a message and possibly arrange some sort of meeting with her spy network if she's willing to do that. I know she wouldn't want to meet us with us personally outside the city, but if she would at least do that, hear us out,
I'll just cast sending and ask her if it's possible to arrange a meeting.
Okay, so this is to. Let me get a picture. This is to Tiffia Avenhart.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you say in the message? This is sending, right?
Yeah, I just does sending. If you don't identify yourself, do you have to identify yourself in sending, or do they know who it's from?
I believe the spell identifies you.
Okay.
If
say
because you have to know the person, so they would know.
Okay.
Yeah, they would know who you
That's from, so I don't have to be like, "Hi, this is Glenn."
No.
Looking to arrange a meeting. I found my son, but daughter's still missing.
So she would say back, you've kicked the hornet's nest. It would be dangerous to speak with you right now. While I'm not openly hostile, we would have to arrest you if my people found you. Stay hidden if you come back.
I would cast sending again. Saying patients used black magic to age my son 10 years forward. There must be more. She is a threat to the Empire.
That's it?
I would just say, like, please help me.
His patience is a known danger, but a controlled one. The attack has got all the houses on edge due to the propaganda she spread. If you have some proof, hold it close to the chest, and we shall look for an opportunity to expose her. Now is not a good time.
Lastly, I'll do one more sending.
I might have gone over 21. Go ahead.
Is there anything you can do to help me find my daughter?
She says, I had heard through my spy network that both of your children were recovered during the attack. If this isn't true, I can have my people keep a lookout. But I've been told that she is missing from the Blackwater compound.
Interesting. Okay, I guess he would then see about checking out his spies.
Another sending.
Yeah, I would to his spies be like, hey, come meet us here, wherever we are currently.
At the tower?
Yeah.
How would they get there?
Oh, damn it. I would just say, gosh, only sendings. Say sending.
You assume they're still at their safe house, unless
Okay.
they've been discovered and had to flee or killed. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
the city's probably like a hive right now, and all the spy networks are looking. You're assuming, because if you were in the circle, if something like this happened, you would also be looking for your group. Everyone would be looking for you. So they're probably in deep hiding, or they fled. You would assume.
Okay, I was gonna sending to the contact I used to talk to in my spy group and say, Avonheart Spy Network says that my daughter was retrieved from a state. Any knowledge?
So you were sending this to the leader of your network? Because you have, what, 4 guys?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know exactly how many I have, but
So the spell would fail, which would mean either he's being shielded or he is dead. Because he
Or would he
exists
be
as a
on
person.
another plane?
No, you would have known if that was the reason, if the 5% chance happened.
Right. Okay.
So he's either dead or in an area where it's being blocked. At least that one of your guys is. I don't have names. Did you ever give them names?
Nah, not really.
All right. So yeah, one of your people at least is yeah.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what the next step is if I want to try and find.
The others could be alive or free unless they were all captured or killed.
I mean, I guess it's 4 sendings so far. I
think this is the 5th actually. Because you did 3 with patience, and this was the 4th. Now it would be the 5th.
Yeah, so I'm just knocking on. Okay, 3. I'll send one to. I'll try and send the same message to another one of the spies.
All right, so you would get back, Glenn. You're alive. Yes, we have your daughter, but we lost our captain. We need to meet. We're in hiding. Just give us a safe place.
Okay. I would cast sending one last time for 6th time and give him coordinates outside the city and basically to an empty field outside the city that we can meet him at.
He says, it might be dangerous for us to move her. We can do that. Another option is us, or you meeting us here, and he would give you coordinates as to where he is.
Can they get her to the Splitlander Hall?
Oh, that's what he would answer.
That place might be under. I don't know if any of this has been said out loud yet.
You wonder what happened to your hall, if they got arrested or what.
You might be under scrutiny at the very least.
Yeah, the coordinates that they gave. Do I know where that is? Where is it exactly?
Yes, it is an area of the black market. So your people are definitely underground, probably being hidden by someone. They might be in debt or something, because you didn't give them any money to pay people off, or you have a friend in the city who helped them. But it's hard to get details with 20 words.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's probably a job best suited. I take on alone, and I we're at our tower, so we got our makeup guy, right?
Oh yeah.
You got
Okay, so
you got well, he's in the Splitlanders tab under the Gravuk Tower. I believe that
Okay.
was Ichabod.
Cool.
Oh no, that was the
So-
Smith.
basically, like I say, I can get a disguise from old Ichabod, and then I can sneak my way in.
All right, so you're gonna have him give you all disguises.
Well, if you're just me, I can't trust these people to be still.
Uslag crosses her arms, offended.
Excuse me? I believe that I have aided your stealth.
I don't know what you're talking. Well, if you want to all come along, then fine. Just
You ain't the stealthiest of the bunch, Glenn. Boulder Bottom says.
well, now that Malon's not here, honestly, our stealthiness has gone up considerably. Not to speak ill of the the crazy, but
Of the clunky metal man. What about you, newcomer? He looks over at Jovian. He says, "Are you quiet?"
Not with those guns or those contraptions.
Well, he's not going to be fire him while he's sneaking around, I don't think. Boulder Bottom says.
I am quiet. I was trained in stealth.
Oh. So, do we finally have
all right.
a group of people that ain't going to alert the enemies every time I try to sneak up?
Nice. Maybe we do.
Interesting.
Perhaps. I mean, especially with the Estrella's aid.
In fact, I think Glenn's the loudest of us here now. He gives you a bit of a wink and pat on the shoulder.
He looks unamused.
Actually, I think his stealth might be higher than Uslog's, but I'm not sure.
Well, how are we getting into the city? There's going to be people looking for us. I guess disguises?
Yeah.
Yep. All disguises.
And
Drovos.
I can take us to the park inside the city.
Oh, that's right. We can get past the walls pretty
perfect.
easily now. Strovo says, well, yeah, you know I can do disguises. I had you guys running around that fire giant city. I got this. Says, what do you want to be disguised as? Anything in particular? Or just kind of yourselves, but
Most
look
boring
different?
thing possible.
Yeah, just peasants. Just city folk.
Says, well, I can't
Going about
hide
their
your
business.
armor and all your weaponry. If you're going to be carrying that around, you're going to stand out, at least as mercenaries. I can change your
Okay.
features, though.
Well, then just change so we don't look like ourselves, I guess.
Boulder
Yeah,
Vibe
mercenaries
says,
is fine.
you know, I hate to say it, but it might actually be safer if we didn't have all our gear on us. We just look like a couple of citizens.
Who needs gear?
Would you take
Yeah,
an old
says the
man's
mage.
walking stick? So we could go in without our stuff. Although, obviously, if we're captured, we're in much more of a pickle. Or at least some of us are. I don't know. What do you think? Should we keep
Don't
our
we have
stuff?
a way to?
I can
Don't
go
we have
without
a
my
way to
armor fairly
carry?
easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can keep my sword in my bag of holding, and I don't need my armor necessarily.
Well, just as a warning, I'm not going to be much good without my bows or armor.
I'll keep it in the bag of holding. I'll get it to you if we need it.
Give
Done it before.
Uslag, I'll give you the moon sickle and my breastplate.
Yeah, maybe what we've done before is emptied out the bag of holding, except for the things that because then we could just dump it out.
Yeah.
So
Dump everything
remember,
out.
the bag of holding can only carry 500 pounds. If you go over that, you'll ruin
Right.
it.
We would have to empty out some
Let's
things
dump
anyway.
it here at the tower before we go.
Wait. Didn't Glenn just get a nice mansion for us to put our stuff in?
Oh yeah.
Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to use some big magic for that, so we might want to hang on to. He's already spent a lot of magic on communication this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could leave our
Are
stuff
we going to
here.
need to? Yeah, I think we can leave it here. I don't think there's much in there that we'll need on the fly anyway. So.
All right. So you're getting disguises, and you are leaving your gear behind to make you look extra. I'll give you basically
Yeah, we're putting our
weapons checks to keep
weapons
you
and armor, or at least our weapons in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
it's
just those.
assumed that everyone has their weapons and armor. Well, go ahead.
Would
I'm gonna leave our potions.
would a revolver be so recognizable as a weapon?
Probably
It
easily
would
concealed.
be, to most people, it would look
Or-
strange. To certain people, it would look more arcane, which might actually make you more visible to certain elements of the city, like arcanists and like people who don't know what guns are. At least that's what
Okay.
you've encountered in other like low tech areas that you've been in. People asking questions about your weaponry.
Because I mean, it's a small flintlock revolver. Wouldn't it be easily concealable?
I mean, yeah, mostly, but I guess if you had like a coat over it or something, you could also conceal daggers. It's just a risk if you want to keep it.
It's up to y'all if we need anything just in case.
Look to
Also,
Glenn. I mean,
would your bag of holding be able to carry all your armor and weapons? Would it have enough weight capacity?
no, I know Uslug doesn't need to put her armor in there. She'll be fine without it.
Okay.
So, if that helps.
All right. So you're kind of hiding your stuff in
So
the. Yeah.
I just changed a lot of the stuff in the inventory to be at camp now, so we're down to a lot less in the bag of holding.
Emptied out the bag at the tower here.
Yeah, so we have, let me see what the weight is right now. Let me get rid of the coins too, because those are heavy. Okay, we're down to 30 pounds in the bag because I left some potions and stuff in there.
All right, so that can probably, because none of you have heavy armor, I don't think, so that could probably carry most of your armor and weaponry. So I don't want to do the math, so we'll just say you're keeping it in there. All right, so that's it. We're teleporting to the city.
Very well.
Yeah. Yep.
Glenn's casting control weather for some reason.
We got our makeup on, right?
Yes, so you've been thoroughly disguised. Your disguised Master Drovo doing an excellent job as usual.
Alrighty, then I will go ahead and cast Transport via plants and go to a tree in the city park.
All right. So you would chant. Estrella opens up a gate into one of the trees, which will lead to another opening somewhere else. And as you step through, you are in a new place. Very far away. So you are...
I was imagining like this park or this park.
I remember it being this park.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
If you want to put a tree marker there, just so we have one for next time. Alright, so you step out in a nice little park area. You see kind of some people moving around in the distance through the trees in the more populated areas of the park. No one really takes much notice of you in this large forest. What do you want to do? You are back in the city.
I'm also gonna put one on the Splitlander Hall just because the garden that I spent time in there. But yeah.
That's fine. You can put one there as well.
Okay, there we go.
Go ahead, Glenn. What were you saying? Okay, well, anyone. What do you want to do? This is like my
I,
quietest group. My other groups are like everyone's talking over each other. This group is just like constant crickets.
I guess we
guys are
move
not
towards
talkers.
the black market. I mean, to try and find my
maybe
peeps.
let's travel in like two little groups. Like we can kind of sort of stay inside of each other, but let's kind of break up our number a little bit just because
Yeah, they might be looking for. Yeah.
yeah, they might be looking for a certain number of people, and yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you're moving through the city just kind of casually, but split up a little towards the black market area.
Yeah.
All right, I need to do some rolling.
I don't know. I was just thinking that even if we don't quite look like ourselves, if we have the exact number of people and the same statures and the like same mix of male and female or something, I don't know whether it would be enough for people to.
Yeah.
That's fair. Are you doing anything in particular to hide yourselves, or are you just trying to act real casual as you move through the city?
Real casual, unconcerned, not in a hurry.
Yep.
All right, so the
Casual.
first thing you would notice
Commoners going about their daily.
as you move close to your
work.
hall, there are Blackwater people, like guards, in front of the hall.
Okay.
And you would see the Splitlanders sign, or the sign on the hall is missing.
Oh God.
This log looks so
We
guilty.
might have to save Shock.
But yeah, you guys are well disguised, so you just kind of casually move past. There are some guards moving through the city, as well as a bunch of other people, though luckily none of them seem to recognize you.
I hope Douglas is okay.
As you get close to the Mage Guild, the Phoenix Guild, you come to one of the entrances to the black market.
Okay.
So this is one you can use. It's not the one close to the coordinates, but this is a way to get inside if you want to try to move through the underground.
Let's do it.
Probably be safer. I mean.
All right. So you enter the building, going downstairs. You don't see anyone there. It's just kind of like a derelict building. Usually there's someone here to meet you to let you in. But yeah, it seems like no one is here right now. What do you want to do?
Should we go towards the coordinates that we were given?
Well, if you want to go through the underground, you would have to figure out a way in if no one's here to let you in. Or you can just walk through the street and forget this place.
Oh, well.
Look for any secret entrances or.
So you're going to start searching around?
Yeah, actually, this slug will activate her gem of seeing because I think that also reveals hidden.
All right, so when you activate your
things.
gem of seeing, you would notice over to the side, one of the walls is not actually a wall, but there is a door there, hidden by illusion.
Nice. She would just point over to that.
Well
Found
done.
it. She nods.
The door itself, if you go over to it, seems to be locked.
That's you guys. So Slug would hold up her hands and step back.
All right, Glenn would approach it and look to see if there's a lock that could be picked.
So you feel around because it looks like a wall, but you do feel the opening of a lock through the illusion, making the illusion become transparent to you. Go ahead and give me a Thieves' Tools check. Advantage if you have Sleight of Hand as a proficiency skill.
We do not, unfortunately.
So it'll just be Thieves' Tools using probably Dex. Okay.
Okay, I'm awesome.
All right.
No Malin here to give you a hard time.
There's a click, and the door unlocks. You see a stairwell going down.
In we go. maybe keep that gem active for, well, I don't know. I guess it,
So
Yeah, it's lasts a little bit.
yeah.
as you're about to enter Jovian with your 24 passive, you think you hear something behind the group kind of coming from the upstairs of the building. It's very faint. You could have sworn like maybe it was a footstep or something. So
Okay.
I'll say Glenn hears it too with his 20.
Did y'all hear that? I think there's someone here.
I'd stop and listen.
You can make active checks if you're listening. Alright, so yeah, you definitely actually think there are with a 28, you think there are maybe 5 individuals upstairs, extremely stealthy. Like you're pretty sure they're actively trying to hide their movements. You may have been followed in here, or someone was already hidden here when you entered.
Glenn would just call out, be like, "There's about 5 of you, right? I know you're there. You might as well just come out. Cat and mouse is over."
One of them says, "There are 6 of us. Who are you?"
We're here to enter the black market.
There's a pause. He says, "This entrance was abandoned due to suspicion by the council. No one is supposed to be using it." He says, "Who are you with? Didn't you get the message?"
The message from who?
He says, "Who are you with?" He sounds annoyed.
Who are you with?
Give me a persuasion. He says, "We work with the Blood Hand, the keepers of the black market in the city. I assume you know who they are."
Oh yeah.
He nods. We're I don't know if he wants to say her name or if that might let them just be like, "Whoa, maybe let's not mess with them." And hypothetically, what would your reaction be if I said we were the Splitlanders?
There's a moment of quiet. You might hear some whispers. He says, "Bullshit." Says, "We saw you when you entered. You look nothing like the Splitlanders. You have no armor. You're obviously some group of merchants looking to make sales, and you're trying to
You
not
all
get
are
in trouble now that you,
the
I
Blood
guess,
Hand,
didn't
right?
get the message. Right? Don't try to fuck with us. Don't lie."
I'm sure you're familiar with disguises in your line of work.
Glenn starts to sing a song.
He says, "What are you doing? Keep your voices down. No one's supposed to be in here." Or what song do you start to sing?
I'll sing like something like catchy and noticeable. Like, I feel like there's probably songs I've sung multiple times before, and like something maybe memorable, so that like they, something that like hopefully he's hoping that they've heard to be like, "Oh shit, that's Glenn."
So like one of your signature songs?
Yeah.
So yeah, as you start singing, he just kind of shushes you from the top of the stairs. He says, No, what are you doing? Why? Don't make noise."
It's me. It's Glenn from the Splitlanders.
He says, I mean, I know of the... so you're going to go with this, that you are actually the group that attacked the Blackwaters a few days ago and everyone is looking for.
Yeah.
It was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess it was technically yesterday. Give me
Yes, and what do you think we're gonna? And what do you think we're gonna do to you if you stand in our way? Some blood hand piss ant. We took on the fucking Blackwater.
Give me
There's gonna be a smell There's
Go
going to
ahead.
be a smell of like electricity in the air as Aramis is getting really annoyed.
All right. So he's quiet for a moment, and he says, "I don't know if you want to add to your list of enemies right now. If you are the Splitlanders, you guys are definitely on the shit list of the city." And he says, he kind of comes. You see a figure kind of walking down the stairs. He has like a dark baklava mask on. His hands are up. He says, "Not looking for any trouble." He says, "Just trying to figure out what's going on here. You don't look like guards or council people, but again, you could be disguised. If you are the Splitlanders, then man, you guys got big balls coming back here after what you did."
I've got some underlings hiding out in the black market right now, and they're supposed to have something of mine, so I'm supposed to meet them there.
So he'll motion for the others to come down the stairs as you hear a door shut. And there are, 6 of them who walk in. He says, "All right, well, I do know that you have some ties to one of our bosses. So he probably want to see you." He says, "All right, let's get down the stairs." He says, "Just keep your weapons away if you have any." He's kind of looking back at the stairwell nervously.
It's not where we've come unarmed.
So as you're going down the stairs, he says, "So why did you guys attack the estate? You really kicked the hornet's nest with that one. Everyone's pissed off at you."
Well, if you want to know the truth, the Blackwaters were holding my son and daughter hostage from me for years.
I guess that makes sense. He says, "Well, yeah, I definitely know of your group. Your guild hall was doing really good till, recent events. And you would get down the stairs and you would see there is another door there, which he would push some buttons on to open, and another stairwell going down. Basically, he opens a secret door. And at this point, you are underground in several what look like halls. And I think some of you have been here before. Maybe not this far north. Right? Uslag, did you go to the black market at one point? Weren't you like looking for someone?
No. I don't think she did. I think
Might have been someone
Hohenheim did.
else. Okay.
Yeah, I think Hohenheim did, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you are traveling through the underground. They are leading you away from the place where you're supposed to go. The coordinates, I mean. You're kind of going more to the east in the underground tunnels. And I think, do any of you have history? You might notice something here.
I do.
So this architecture does seem dwarven to you. You would guess Tharian in origin.
That's pretty standard for Cheruvian cities, isn't it, to be built on Tharian ruins?
The guy shrugs. He says, "I don't know what you just said, old lady, but maybe." One of the other guys says, "Tharian, the old dwarf empire." He says, "I don't know what that is." He's like, education standards in the city have fallen. He goes gives him a very angry look. Yeah.
Where you don't really need to escort us, and I think we might need to head in a different direction than you seem to be going.
He says, "We're taking you to meet someone first, an old friend of the group's."
Who would that be?
He says, "Well, you'll know him when you see him. You can't really forget him. I don't want to spoil the surprise."
I don't like surprises.
I think I know who it is.
Well,
Estrella does not.
She's like bristling now.
We're almost there. Once it's good to talk to him anyway, because you'll want his okay to be down here,
I think I
especially
know who it is too.
if you are who you say you are. So
Oh,
he
no.
would take you to one of the side rooms as he comes down the tunnel, opens the door. Inside there are a couple of people talking to each other, and at the head of the table is a familiar figure.
I knew it.
He looks over and
Fucking
he says,
Neil.
wait, Uslog? Well, holy shit. He
Well,
gets up and
That's
says,
exactly what I was gonna say.
come here,
he
you.
immediately
Walks
recognized
over.
her despite the disguises.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true. You
right.
guys are in disguise. All right, so like he'll
She would say, "Oh, Neil, holy shit."
He'll seem annoyed when they walk in and say, you know, I'm busy right now. What's this about? And the guy would say, old friends of yours. He says, I don't know
Yeah,
these
don't-
people.
Don't worry, we don't have any stick horses to bonk you over the head with this time.
Wait a minute. He arches an eyebrow. He says, oh my god, really? Is that who I think it is? And he has a big smile on his face now. Walking
Yeah.
over. He says, oh, it is. Looking at you closer. He says, I recognize that physique. Almost as good as mine. Gives you a wink.
Well, aren't you a handsome one?
Says, thanks, old lady. I think I am as well. And he flexes his pecs at you. Says, Uslog. Man, it's been forever. Where's the rest of your group? I don't know any of these losers.
These are the Splitlanders. She would introduce everyone. This is Glenn Whisperwind. Actually, yeah, we can trust him. He's trustworthy. She would
So
just
he
let everyone
says-
introduce themselves.
He looks at Glenn. He says, "Wait, you're that like fallen spy network guy, aren't you? I know of you. Never met you."
He nods. Yeah, that would be me.
He says, yeah, we got some of your guys. When they told me who they were, I figured you'd have some money to, pay for their stay here. Otherwise, we probably would have sold them back to patients. But hey, you showed up, so we don't have to sell them. It's great." He pats you on the back.
Appreciate that.
He says, yeah. So, I don't know, 500 gold pieces? Sound fair?
Just a cackle of electricity.
And a bunch of hairs stand up.
About. How about an IOU? I mean, what better than to have the Splitlanders in your debt?
He says, right now, I would charge you. You know how like angry you made everyone? Like everyone's looking for you guys. He says, come on, 500's a good price. Just give me 500. I know you guys got it. You guys are always rich.
Uslag would look to Glenn. I mean, we did put him through a lot of shit.
Yes,
Says,
but
"Yeah,
we're traveling
my-
light right now. We're traveling light at the moment. We actually might not have 500 gold.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
might
God.
actually have to be if I. Oh wait, how much does Uslag have on her right now?
He arches an
I will-
eyebrow at that. He says, really? You don't got 500?
Here, I've got
Oh, Uslag's got plenty, but
160. Here you go.
Says, well, that's
I think it's better
one-
to pay these guys off, right? Here you go. I'll just toss him
Says-
my coin pouch.
All right, you just give him a bag of coins. He says, well, that's 160. What about the other 340?
Uslag will cover the rest.
All right, so Uslag takes out a bunch of coins. He says,
How
awesome.
much? Is that 500 minus 1? Okay.
It'd be 340. So he gets the money. He seems very happy. He says, all right, that's what I wanted. You guys are welcome. Not even going to charge you, even though you're kind of a hot item right now. He says, why did you come back? It seems like a really bad time. Just for your guys?
They have something of mine.
Says the little girl.
Yes.
He says, yeah, I figured that might be it. She someone special to you?
She's my daughter.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. He says, well, I will bring you to them because I'm sure you wish to see your daughter. But yeah, I'll get you set up at a nice place. You do have more money to pay them, right? Like you can pay for a hotel down here.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can afford it.
All right. So he would personally escort you to where your guys are. There's 3 of them left, and your daughter would be there. She would immediately see you and just rush up and hug you. She says, "Daddy."
Oh, Ruby, so glad you're safe.
She says, I never thought I'd see you again."
I always knew I would. One way or another. I'm sorry it took so long.
She gives Aramis a stern look, and she says, "I told you he'd come back someday." Wait. And
He'll just stare at her
she says,
like,
go ahead.
in disbelief, like she actually is still alive.
So she would kind of look at you as well and say, "I'm sorry I wasn't able to find you. I looked for you, or I tried to find a way to get in touch with you after she separated us." She says,
Where
"You're..."
did she send you?
Actually, wait. So story-wise, did we want her to have seen you before or after you were aged? Like, would she have not known you were aged? I forget, what was the story there?
In the story, like, she had seen me after the change.
Okay, so she would recognize. Well, I guess technically you're disguised, but maybe she kind of recognizes something about you. So yeah, she would say, I was in the house, but she always kept me apart from you. I couldn't find a way to get back to you."
Well, it doesn't matter. We're never going back there.
She nods
Exactly.
and says, I never want to go back there. It's horrible. Now Daddy's here. He'll take care of us."
Yeah, you'll both be with me from now on. Don't worry.
So yeah, she just keeps hugging you. She seems very happy to see you again. The spies kind of smile. One of them says, "Unfortunately, we lost Arthur retrieving her. It seems that Diddy managed to get her out before she was captured, and we found her hiding in the drop-off point."
He nods and he sighs. Thank you, Diddy. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. He sighs again. I'm sorry what happened to her. I wish we could have stopped it.
So you weren't able to save her. We lost contact with her, but we knew that Patience had discovered her. We don't know what happened after that.
He shook his head. Patience turned her into a damn vampire.
They all seem kind of aghast at that. There's a moment of silence, and he says, "Well, yeah, I mean, we got your daughter out during the kerfuffle. We thought we were well hidden in the safe house, but they found us there. Arthur basically sacrificed himself to kind of mislead them as we were able to get her out. And then we were able to convince the black market to hide us, hoping that you would show up before they, got tired of hiding us and sold us back. There is quite a bounty on everyone."
I'm sure.
He lowers his voice and he says, "Are you sure we can trust the black market?"
Well, honestly, I don't think we should stay here. We should get back out of the city and figure out what we're going to do next.
Anyone else at risk?
Take you with us so that you can be safe until things settle down.
He nods. Or I guess she would nod. Wait, did someone just disconnect?
Yeah, I think Jovian's having some issues.
Yeah, he said he would
issues.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he had to restart. Do we want to take? Oh wow, it's late. Do we want to take a break here? I know we haven't done our usual break.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, Jovian's back. Well, yeah. Why don't we do a break anyway? Just because people might need to use the restroom and such.
Okay.
All right, I'll do 10.
I'm getting a status error every time I try to join the Roll20.
Oh no.
Maybe
I
try a
can't
different
my
browser?
character sheet. Yeah, I switched to my other router.
Yeah, maybe what browser were you using?
Firefox.
Yeah, maybe try Chrome or the Microsoft one, Edge. Those usually work.
Okay, I'll try it.
All right, I'll
'Cause
be
it's
back.
letting me do it, but it's not letting me launch the game.
You're not on like an iPad or anything, are you?
No, I'm on a PC and I
I
have
know
an
someone else was
Ethernet.
having that. Yeah.
I have no idea what's happened in the past 20 minutes because I've been focusing on trying to make this. So I don't know what the. Wait, I think it's a Roll20 error because on Roll20 it's saying people are having problems with logging in and they're trying to fix it.
Damn.
It's just an error that popped up.
Oh, okay. Guess no one log out. I'll be back in a moment. Gonna get some water.
Likewise.
That's weird. I can't even join on my phone.
Weird. If you want to, you can go. I can send you Lou's Twitch link, and then you could see the map and there if you want.
That is a way I could watch. I need to find a way to get my character sheet though.
Yeah. Here's the Twitch link.
I have it because
Oh, okay.
I've watched the Twitch before. I just have no way to see my character sheet, so I have no idea what I have proficiencies in and stuff.
Well, Lou might be able to check for you
Yeah.
if it comes to that till this bug gets resolved, whatever's happening.
We
Really
only
weird.
have about a half hour left, so
Mm-hmm.
we can probably piece it together. So now Aramis has to decide if his little sister is going to live at the tower, or if he's going to figure out what he's going to.
Yeah, yay, we found
Mansion.
Ruby. So excited. I mean, there's the mansion or the tower, depending on,
But if she's in the mansion, isn't she'd essentially be by herself, right?
We could take our camp
we have
people
all the
there.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now
Yeah.
that Glenn did that research and made it a permanent pocket plane,
Like, we're gonna have LaRoe train you. Go.
Yeah.
Okay, I found a picture of my character sheet I took.
Work around. And then we lose him.
All right, I'm back.
Let's go fight Malin.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just chilling in the city, taking a couple swigs. No, he's long gone.
Yeah, we still have to meet your new character.
Yep.
Oh man, poor Neil. It's amazing that he's still our friend. We did not treat him very
I'm not
well
so
in the
sure
early
he'd be-
days.
I'm not so sure. Quince and Jingle
Quince
be welcome.
Quince actually ended up being like his buddy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after we interrogated him twice. In not so gentle methods. But to be fair, he was loyal to Cithril at the time.
Is Cithril dead in this timeline?
No, she skedaddled.
Okay.
Yeah. There was like a hostage situation. I think she used that to make her escape.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do anything. But yeah, Neil, that was what I think turned Neil, we had him captured and she essentially just abandoned him. And he was just like, well, fuck her then. It was a little more complicated than that, but yeah. I think that's kind of what happened. That was so long ago. I can't believe this is the 200th session.
200 sessions. Damn.
Or, yeah, this is though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
Been
think
a
this is my
long
oldest
road.
game.
Harley's been here for all of it.
Yeah. It's fun. I like, it's hard, when like the group changes drastically, but I really, as far as like the story goes, it makes for a really interesting, I don't know, story of like the all the people who have contributed to this cause and this just have come and gone and everything. I don't know. They all played their part,
Technically, Uslag wasn't here from the beginning, right?
Uslag wasn't. No, I had Edie, the little gnome.
Yeah. Oh, right. When you were fighting
Uslag,
the Iron Tide.
Yeah, Uslag was they found her captured by the Iron Tide after she had, basically hunted them down to get back her people.
Yeah, and you were trying to free the sun.
She got herself captured. Yeah.
I think it's fixed.
Yay!
Nice.
Okay, I'm able to join.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Did you figure out what was wrong?
It was a thing on Roll20. Like on the top, it was saying people are having problems logging in. We're currently working on it.
Oh,
And
weird.
so, yeah.
Is
I think
everyone
it was
back?
just a server side.
Put back
I
in
think
the
so.
chat if you're here.
Yeah, I think everyone's here. Oh, we just need Glenn.
I'm here.
Who are we missing? Oh, is she
Ooslog.
5? Oh, Ooslog.
Missing? Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm here. I missed that we were doing a roll
I
call.
figured. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Well, so yeah, you're in the room where your 3 guys are. Your daughter. There's a nice little reunion happening. When Neil would also come walking. Well, I guess he was there already, but he would kind of tap Glenn on the shoulder. He says, "I need to talk to you about something after you finish with this."
He nods. All right. I'll come find you.
So yeah, he would take off, go back to his office. So yeah, what does the group want to do? It's probably about. It's probably about maybe 2:30 at this point. Is there anything else you want to RP with this scene, or you want to just continue on? Like any talk between Aramis and his sister, or Glenn and Aramis and his sister, anything like that?
I think I'm pretty content if Aramis wants to do something.
I would say that Aramis would, like, if Glenn was going off to talk to Neil, Aramis would just be like, kind of dumbstruck staring at her, but like in a very, he can't believe she's back. Like, he thought he had lost her. And he would just kind of be very like taken over the role of like protecting her, kind of putting himself between even these spies who rescued her. He'd be kind of like putting himself between
Like
them,
Glenn's
just
people?
to like, yeah, because he doesn't know who any of these people really are. So he's just gonna kind of take on this like almost bodyguard role to her, while just trying to keep her content.
All right, and she would come up and hug you as well afterward.
Yeah.
She would say it's always strange whenever I see you as being an adult.
That's strange seeing you. Patients told me you're dead. So
She locked me away. I don't know why. I think they were using magic on me, but I don't know what the purpose was. They had people in funny robes coming in, and they were saying strange words, and magic was happening, but I don't know what it was doing.
well, you don't have to worry about that.
She would smile and give you another hug. All right, so Glenn, you said you left to, what are you doing?
You can go find Neil.
All right, and just to give everyone else a shot at the camera, anyone else need or want to do some RP here, talking to each other, talking to some of the other people in the scene, just let me know.
I think Uslug would be kind of hanging back. She doesn't want to like overwhelm Ruby right now, but she's just kind of like watching the scene and just feeling happy for Glenn and Aramis.
Alright, and Jovian's just kind of taking it all in, remaining quiet.
Yeah, I would just be like leaning against a wall, just watching.
probably have like a baklava on as well, maybe a bunch of robes to cover up your metal parts.
Yeah.
Some kind of mysterious old man disguise. But you walk down the hallway a bit. Neil's actually waiting there for you. And he would say, I wanted to speak with Uslag as well, but being the spy master of the group, it's probably best if I just discuss this with you. We have someone looking for you, someone in the black market, though we don't think they're with patience. He says, I think it has something to do with another one who was part of your group, the one that did the most destruction during the fight.
Ah, Malin.
Says, yeah, this guy seems to be seeking a metal man. At least that's how he described him. So we assumed it was the guy you lost during the fight. I think they killed him, I don't know. There's not much information on how that turned out. He says he's in the black market now. He's been paying some good money to get rumors on what happened to you all in Malin.
You can lead him over to us if you'd like.
And he nods. He says, you going to be staying here the night?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, I suggest you keep those disguises on and don't use your real names. In fact, I think it was kind of stupid of you to tell my guys at the gate who you were. It would have probably been better if no one knew. I think I can trust them, because, you know, if anyone blabs, I know it's one of those 6. But still, there's a lot of money being offered for your capture, and the black market isn't exactly the safest place for someone like you right now.
He nods. We'll get out of here in the morning.
Says, all right. Well, we'll get you set up with some temporary lodgings, say 100 gold pieces.
He kind of rolls his eyes, sure.
Says, look, man, you know how this works. It's not like you're just getting a room
know.
at the inn. You guys are wanted criminals. We can make way more money selling you to patients. Being nice here.
I know. He hands him 100 gold.
He just nods and says, all right. Gives you a key, and he says, he tells you, like, where the room is. He says this should be a safe place for you all to stay. It's kind of off the beaten path. I'll send the guy over to see you later. He doesn't, I don't think he knows what the name of the group is. Like I said, this doesn't seem like a patience thing. More like something separate.
Okay, sounds perfect then.
Alright, so I'll pass some time. I'll say you all head over to the room, unless you tell me otherwise. Kind of putting your stuff down and getting ready to rest. I'll say around 7 p.m. there is a knock at the door.
Alright, I said get up and answer.
Alright. So what would Garen look like to them?
So yeah, Garen, you know, he's a regular human. Not that too tall, like about like 5'11", I'd say. You know, wearing a tunic, nothing special. Build wise, like he has, you know, blue eyes, some white hair. Build wise though, he kind of thin actually, almost not gaunt, but you know, he's definitely like on the thin side. But yeah, kind of, you know, simple, you know, human.
Alright, then what would you say as you enter? You might have to improv this a little.
Yeah. Hello, is this I was told I was supposed to meet with someone from the Splitlanders.
And is it just me here, or is everybody here?
You're all here.
Okay. Yep, that would be it.
Oh, well, I was just talking to Neil over there. He mentioned you might know a old companion of mine, Malin. I was I just look around. I was wondering if you guys knew where he was.
He's dead.
Uslag like stood up straight, or sat up really straight when he heard that. She heard that. Words.
Yeah, Glenn would just respond like immediately as Usog stands up. He's dead.
I kind of give him a weird look, like, what do you mean?
Do you not know what dead means?
Yes.
He passed this mortal coil.
But I don't. Yeah, I mean, I would know if he's not dead.
And how are you? Are you linked to him? Are you his soulmate?
No, but I'm fairly. I would say I used to travel with him, and I mean, we had ways of knowing if one of us perished. So no, he's not dead. Is he okay? Like, why are you being secretive about this?
I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
I don't know what your intentions are.
that I apologize. Like I said, I knew Malin a while ago. We were like I said, we traveled together. And I know we didn't speak for a while, but I heard what happened. I guess I wanted to reach out and I guess see him again. I was kind of concerned about what they were saying out in the city. That I knew I did hear occasionally like he was part of the group, but that you guys just went, attacked the city, it attacked the Blackwaters, attacked the city, caused I was I kind of wanted find out what happened.
Well, if he isn't dead now, he'll be dead soon.
He's
Why
most
is
certainly
that?
not himself right now.
What do you mean?
Story.
Maybe
Well,
maybe you could tell us a bit more about your relation to Malin, as we don't know much about you, Boulder Bottom says. Maybe that'll help us trust you more. You've been kind of skimpy on the details here, other than that you know him and you're connected somehow.
Sorry, I guess it has been a while, but I mean I don't know how much Mal might have told you all, but he was in a group previously with that we traveled. It was him, Earthane, me, and Hadrian, and we we went on some very unsavory, some missions of sorts. I joined the group a bit later, but we did a decent amount of traveling. Mal was someone I really looked up to, and unfortunately at the end all of us had a bit of a falling out, and we split our ways. But
so you're the last member of the Fantastic Four.
well, that's not what we called ourselves, but
Quick
What did you
question.
call it?
Does everyone have their disguises on still, or are you kind of relaxing, like in your normal look right now?
I think I would. Glenn would have taken this off.
Yeah, I feel like here we
Yeah.
probably would really need them.
What about Jovian?
Yeah, I probably would also take it off.
So you would notice, Scarron, as you're talking to them, that Jovian has grafting of metal and flesh, almost identical to the type of work that Malin did. Might catch you a little off guard, actually, as I don't think I've seen many people with this type of magical work done on them outside of your group. And you know a couple of other people he worked on a long time ago.
Oh, that's... Sorry, I didn't mean to... I don't mean to point out, but that work that you have on you... sorry, I didn't catch what your name is.
I'm Jovian.
Jovian. It is quite similar to my friend, actually. Did you know him? Did he work on it for you?
Who?
Matlin. Tall, metal man with a human face.
I mean, I think I've heard the name whispered, among some of the people who worked on me, but I don't know any specifics. And the work done on me was not willingly done.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. But you didn't meet him, when he was in the group?
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember, at least. My memory is very jumbled.
Well, but how long have you been with the Splitlanders? I assume Malin was with you for a while.
I just joined them today.
Oh. I see.
We've been busy.
It's been an eventful few days. Although, yeah, that's strange that that the cultists would be using some of Malin's flesh crafting that he had done on himself. Wonder how they would have that technique.
Wherever
Yeah.
Malin learned it from.
I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you. I didn't know him before his previous whoever he was. He always talked about his wanting to find out his memories.
So you four were some kind of mercenary group that worked together, Boulder Bottom says?
Yeah, you could say that. We've had any unsavory or near suicide missions we'd go on, and there was that one romp through hell. Fought. There's a couple monsters here and there.
Well, I know that he is from what he told us, he's from a time long forgotten. Him and several of his people. Are you also ancient, or are you a normal person?
No, I kind of hesitate when I say when he gets to normal, but I only met him I'd say several years back. I didn't know him that long for how long he has been alive, and the other two, but I did feel we were a bit close.
As well as Glenn said, we haven't really seen him. After the attack, he sort of went a bit crazed and ran from us. Ran right into a bunch of guards. I don't know what became of him.
What do you mean crazed? Wait, he ran from you?
As well, if Glenn wants to tell you, I'll let him do it. He's the storyteller among us. He takes a puff of his pipe.
Yes, please. I'm sorry. I don't mean to impose, but I would care to know what happened to my friend.
Malin started courting power against the advice of everyone in the group. He found a way to converse with a lawful evil god of destruction, Surtur, and thought that he could gain power while keeping himself. We all warned against it, but everyone who had dealt with Surtur before had fallen prey to him. and tried to explain that it was a slippery slope. And we saw him go down that slippery slope. And all it took was one bad day. And he gave in and let Sorcerer take over. So right now he is just a vessel being controlled by an evil god. If they haven't put him down yet, they probably will soon, or honestly.
Or we might have to.
Or we might have to, like you said.
What do you mean? He just gave in?
Yep. He let Surtur take over.
Willingly?
It may
Yep.
have been he felt lost from the lass who he had been courting his love, a gal named Diddy. She had fallen and was corrupted, and I think that drove him over the edge.
Sog nods about that.
I mean, I'm not entirely surprised that, he would agree to such a deal. Although I would probably gander that, well, I myself never agreed with it, but, all the other three members, I mean, they had some, with the work that we did, they, were willing to compromise, I mean, obviously, Hadrian, that guy's a freak. Just willingly, he didn't sacrifice any god, but he just willingly wanted to become just a robot so he could just keep upgrading and appending himself. So
yeah,
weird.
we saw him firsthand.
You saw Hadrian?
Sog nods.
And your other friend, though at different times.
Yeah, I've run into Earthane. He I wouldn't say he's the evil god, but he has a interesting little dealing with what's his name? Selen? Yeah, Selen. Yeah, that elf, whatever. Little shady little past, but Mal and I guess I never, I thought Mal and he was willing to make the tough decision, but I never thought he would give in. But hearing what you have said, him his love, stuff. I feel really bad for him. I do want to, if possible, if we could, I don't know, save him, whatever. I at least that.
Boulder Bottom looks a little unsure. He says, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what we'd do if we ran into him again. At this point, he seemed pretty devoted to Surtur. Even before his turn, he'd been doing some questionable things. He says, so what, you're looking to stay with us to seek him out and try to save him?
If you guys would have me, I would, I appreciate it. Malin is, like I said, if you guys need help on any missions or and
What
whatnot,
are your skill sets? Uslug's kind of scrutinizing him. She's not sure what to make of him at all. Just looks very normal.
well, I can, I fought, I can, I guess, yeah, I can fight. I do. I just give a very awkward response.
Uslug just raises her eyebrow.
Oh, very vague of you.
Yeah, you kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you look like a little twink, so. I mean...
like Garn's like genuinely
that an
genuinely
elven
hurt by
word?
this statement.
Oh.
I'm just genuinely well, sorry, I wasn't born like this, to have flashy muscles, but I can't assure you.
I mean, you combed your hair that way yourself. Okay, don't try and put this off on how you were born. You look like a bitch. What are you gonna do about it, huh?
That my hair wasn't
Don't-
that wasn't my choosing either.
What, you can't comb your hair?
You can't dye it. Were you completely
It's-
helpless? Do you want somebody in our party that's completely fucking helpless?
It's
Glenn,
yeah.
you're being a
Garen's
little
like
harsh on him.
Garen's he's kind of like a little upset. He's like I'm sorry.
You gonna cry? You gonna cry, little baby?
Are
He's
you
like
trying to
genuinely hurt now.
antagonize them?
He's like genuinely hurt now. I'm sorry. I wanted to find my friend.
He looks back at Uslag and he's just
Don't-
like, there's this weird look on his face. Like, do we really want to bring this guy with us?
Well,
Some people's skills are a little more hidden than others.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to be more specific about what you can do, friend. I mean, if we're gonna bring you on some of these, I almost die on half of these trips, and I'm like a hardened soldier from the forests of the north and the mountain lands. I mean, what do you have to keep you alive?
Why don't you show us?
Well,
Fight Uslag.
Fight Uslag.
Or fight
Just right
Glenn.
now. Just right now.
Always
I
down
don't
to
know if he's gonna
spar.
fight Glenn.
Yeah, after those words,
Well, if the time comes,
those are fighting words.
I could, I could, I go, hand to hand.
Well, maybe you should fight Glenn. I mean, Glenn was throwing some words around, some shade. Maybe
yeah,
it's time
Glenn,
to
you
throw
should
down.
fight him.
Glenn starts
Why?
like poking your chest. Yeah, what's up? You gonna throw down?
Look, I just met you guys. I don't want,
Yeah.
I don't want.
He keeps like poking your
Yes.
chest. Like, what are you gonna do? Come on, hit me.
Just be a
Hidden.
friendly sparring match, just to test
Well,
out
At some
your
point, when you
skills.
poke me, my eyes like flash yellow, and then it just like calms down.
Boulder Bottom
There it
would
is.
kind of get a little startled by that, and he says, "Well, how do you fight? Like, what kind of weapons do you use? Are you bow and arrow, sword and board? You got weird metal tubes that explode walls?" And he looks over at Jovi. What do you got? Magic?
I mean, no, I guess I just.
You said
use
you
my
fought
hands.
with Malin, right? I mean, I doubt he had you just walking around picking daisies.
No, I mean, obviously, Mal and Kadrian were like our frontliners, and then me and Earthane would come up and do the.
You comfort him at night. I see. Okay, I got you.
Sorry,
He's a
what did you say?
cleanup.
You'd be the comfort at night. Okay, I got you.
He cleans
Well,
up
they're
after them.
I
Cleans
don't
up.
understand. Like, no, I get what you're saying, but Aaron doesn't understand what Glenn is saying. But yeah, I was like, maybe while they're holding them at bay, we inflict the damage.
So you'd like throw stuff at him? You got like again, you're being really vague here. Like what do you do?
I will go and punch people. I know Mark.
Oh, so you're a brawler. He says punch
Yeah.
people. It's really odd when like knives and swords are a thing. You're saying you punch people.
Well, Malin,
You like to punch things too.
Oh, that's true. You got like those metal gauntlets that do thunder shocks.
No, I didn't do any. I don't have any like additional gauntlets or whatnot.
Oh.
I just.
He says, "Well."
Uslag would just like kind of
He scratches
Glenn
his
a
head.
look,
Oh,
but
I'm out of
and then
ideas.
like
I don't know
turn
what this
back
guy
to
does.
Garen and be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize they just asking you what your skill set was. Usually that's a pretty simple question.
Well, no, I mean, I
think
punch
we're-
people. You know,
Cool. See, simple answer. That's all I needed to know.
Can I have Garen?
We've been through a lot
make
lately. Just sorry.
Can I have Garen make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Ooh.
Sure.
Wisdom save. Are you casting a spell like without components?
I'm subtle
Subtle?
casting a spell. Yep.
Okay.
26. Oh, I don't know why it's only to you. That shouldn't be. I don't know why it's not public.
All right, so you attempt to affect him with magic, but yeah, he resists, which actually kind of surprises you. You would get his surface thoughts, though, right? Because that's only when you dive deeper.
Yeah.
Right? Or wait, no, is this a different spell? This might be a different spell.
It's just detect thoughts, so on a successful save, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing their mind.
All right, so I think with yeah, you can probe surface thoughts with this spell, right? And then you can delve deeper.
Yeah.
I hate these new. I fucking hate these spell descriptions. Like, I want to strangle whoever thought this was a good design choice. All right, so what would your surface thoughts be right now, Malin? Or, sorry, Garen? Because he would detect those.
What was the reference for the conversation? We were like,
what do you do?
Yeah, that's what you were talking about. Would you be like shy? Would you be embarrassed? Would you be like happy? Like, how would you feel right now? What would he detect?
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot more to it, but
it's surface thoughts.
Yeah, they're like that's what I'm saying. There's a lot more to it. Like, but you know, but I am. It is true that I go punch people, but clearly there's a lot more to it.
No, but your surface thoughts would be kind of how you feel right now. Or what you might be thinking about, like just very basic. Like, would
awkward,
you know, awkward? Yeah, that's what I thought it might be. So yeah, you would detect he feels awkward, but you would be surprised because you would detect a +10 wisdom save, which is not something that's common. This guy has some pretty guarded mental facilities.
So,
and you also would detect, Garen, that he's trying to probe your mind, or someone was trying, since it was subtle.
So I'll just step up to Glenn and go, he's not all that he seems. He's got mental fortitude, that's for sure. But I don't think he's lying to us.
He nods. Well, I'm just worried about him surviving. I mean, we just watched we've lost 3 friends, essentially. I really don't want to see somebody join and then be part of the killing field immediately after.
Sounds. Go ahead.
I promise you. I can take care of myself. You have my word.
Why don't we have him spar with Uslog a bit? Says he can throw down fisticuffs. Maybe we could see how he does against our beast of a barbarian. No offense, Uslog.
Why would I take offense to that?
That's what I like to hear. He smacks you on the arm. Man, she's tall. Oh wait, you're not that tall, right? I'm thinking.
No, not that tall. Maybe for a human.
Man, she's buff. Her arms like steel. All right. Well, we are kind of at the end of the session, so why don't we do some MVP votes, and we'll pick it up next week. Anything Estrella wanted to add? I know you were kind of quiet during all of this. Was she doing anything in particular?
No, not really.
Just kind of off to the side observing?
Yeah.
Alright. It's a lot of good role play. I like the character development.
Alright.
Alright, I got 3 votes. And welcome, Joby.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I don't
character is intriguing.
I like this design a lot. Yeah, we'll definitely.
All right, I got 5 votes. I think I need 1 more. All right, there we go. It's a pretty close race, but Glenn with 3 votes, you are the MVP.
Ooh.
So you get another inspiration point.
Da, 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 da.
All right. Well, very good, everyone. Thanks for playing. I had fun.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Was Glenn trying to get him to like react with violence?
You know, Glenn is
Yeah.
definitely is like trying to like very similar. Like he's like, oh, this is like Malin, and it's like I said,
Yeah.
this is a completely different personalities, like
Yeah.
near opposite.
I was trying to get him to hit me. I was trying to get him to hit me to show him what we could do. That's what I was
Had a
expecting him
feeling.
eventually to just like punch me and be like, "All right, you're okay."
It was like, do I defuse this situation? Like, what?
We just
What's
let it
going on?
happen.
All right. Well, any comments on the game? Things you liked or disliked?
I really like the session.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
200.
we got
Where's our
everyone-
magic item?
Ah.
This is true. Oh yeah, that we're gonna have to. we'll factor that in.
Yeah. You guys have a good amount of magical stuff,
Yeah. Speaking of magic items, we definitely wouldn't have buried Eli with like all of his magic items and stuff.
Oh, what?
Like,
Kinda-
he had like a really like
Oh, we would
weird
have stripped
book,
him naked.
like-
Yeah.
No, well,
Oh
I mean,
wait. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Eli has something I want.
we would have taken his magic items and stuff because we would have known that like we would need to use.
You didn't
things,
bury
you
him with
know,
his
I don't know.
stuff.
We
That's
weren't
not very
being
honorable.
impractical.
Out of character, guys. Hear me out.
The next
Back to
day,
the
like
quest.
someone grave robbed Eli. Like all his stuff is gone. Some adventurers
had
came up
some-
to your
some
tower. They're like, "We're digging up these graves," and then just stole
Powerful
all his
scrolls
stuff.
and stuff. Like we're gonna need, you know.
It's like, damn it, adventurers, stay out of our graves, bastards. All right. Well,
Being
yeah.
practical, you know.
No bonus magical items for session 200. It has been some
Yeah.
pretty crazy sessions leading up to this. This was kind of like the cooldown session.
Oh yeah, dude.
You
Yeah,
guys just had
it was
those
the-
huge,
like all the fallout and
yeah, huge combats and like breaking into the house from the last few games. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
like the fallout and aftermath and rebuilding stuff. Anything else? Any other comments on the game or anything you liked or disliked?
No, this is good. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
managed to get everybody, all the new people in, new characters. Kind of close
And
towards the end there with Bergaren, but I think that was a good.
That was okay. I mean, the idea was like, I'd meet you guys like in the city, whatever. I wasn't, but that was an epic entrance. I was like, oh, just it is definitely much more meek than Mountain, like 100%.
Yeah, you did
Yeah,
it. A good
I was
job
trying
with
to
that.
figure out a good way to bring you in. I felt like your character
That
would
was good.
probably use the black market to look for rumors on what happened, since you know he was part of the attack.
Yeah, I mean, he does have money. Like, he was fairly like successful in his travels. With the 3 other guys. So he and he's done I guess some missions since, but
Yeah.
But no, don't worry. He's also very stealthy, guys. But he's not. Gonna...
Yay! We might actually have a stealthy party for once. Like,
Well, unfortunately, I think Aramis is kind of not very stealthy.
well, at least he's not
Right.
full
I have a
metal,
pl-
you know?
I have a +7 and I'm trained in it.
Oh, maybe I
Oh,
just
yeah,
remember you
that's like
rolling
useful.
poorly last few times you've used it.
There's that.
Oh, well, then maybe the group is kind of stealthy. Except, like I said, maybe Glenn is the least stealthy of you all.
No, I got +8.
Yeah, he's like
Alright,
stealthy.
Well, so
Yeah.
Uslog is the least.
Uslog's trained with the 7.
So, yeah.
Alright.
She spent
You're
her
all
you know,
stealthers.
or years
How much is yours,
you know,
Jovi?
hunting in the forest.
Plus 15.
Oh shit, that's even more than mine. Damn. I mean, I wasn't going
Yeah,
for the
I have a
that.
ton of like skill stuff and perception and initiative and just a bunch of skill stuff.
And Freya can go invisible, and she's got like pass without trace. So I mean,
Yeah, no, we can finally stealth,
yeah.
guys.
I mean,
I'm not
that's
gonna
a
stub
good
my
time to
foot.
become outlaws of the Empire.
I promise I'm not gonna stub my foot this time, or just clang around as I'm walking.
Yeah, Uslog's knocked over a trash can in a city before. She's had her moments.
What's your movement speed?
30, but I have bonus action dash.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, I'm not so much a scout, but like, if we need to go out in front and do stuff, we should be.
I also have, if this is ever needed, in darkness, creatures that rely on dark vision to see me can't see me in darkness.
Oh, nice.
So I just get the invisibility condition against creatures that are relying on dark vision to see me.
Nice.
Yeah, Gloomstalker.
Sweet.
Nice for stealth.
Why is your strength so low, by the way?
Me?
It's
No,
I think mine.
Garen.
Okay.
I mean, he's supposed to be gaunt. He is supposed to be pretty weak.
So that's a self-imposed thing?
Yes, he is supposed to be that weak.
And that's
physically.
fine. Just like normally you'd start at 8, but we can put it down a little. Alright.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for like, oh yeah, he definitely isn't, assuming wise. Like he's like, can this guy even fight? Yeah, that's 100%.
I guess you don't have to carry all that much stuff, so.
But yeah, very simple tunic. I'm not maybe some gold on the side. No, I don't carry any other weapons or anything. But
Good game, everybody. I'm gonna head off to bed.
Good night.
Good thing I got